just didn't do anything.
Okay.
I put it in and
I just didn't do anything.
So that whole closet is in view, but it's fine. It has a pretty thing on it. This is fine because I just idiot sandwiched myself.
I just idiot sandwiched myself. What if you sincerely believed something was true, but you were dead wrong? What if you were so stubbornly sure that you were right that you wouldn't even consider the truth? Would the truth be silenced, or would it try to break through? Option 3. Edward loved me. The bond forged between us was not one that could be broken by absence, distance, or time. And no matter how And no matter how much more special or beautiful or brilliant or perfect than me he might be, he was as irreversibly altered as I was. As I would always belong to him, so would he always be mine.
No matter how what?
Excuse me, Bella. We'll scratch some parts out.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I love this chapter. Cool.
And on that note...
Hi everyone!
Hello!
This is Marin right here.
This is Emily right here.
And we collectively are...
Remember Twilight?
You did it right, I did it wrong.
Thank you.
Today's episode is a very special
It is.
episode because it is the very last chapter of New Moon.
The very last.
Emily, can you
Already?
believe it? How many? I haven't counted because I don't care. But how many episodes have we done? Around 50.
Around.
It's got to be around 50.
Yeah.
Because this is 24 chapters. I think Twilight had about 24 chapters.
Uh-huh.
Life and Death, we did a couple.
Yeah, we
We've
gotta
done
be
some
over
minis.
50.
Man, guys.
Happy 50th episode a while ago.
Thank you. I'm sure it was fun when we did it.
Probably.
This is chapter 24 of New Moon. It is called Vote.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, please? Okay.
Yes.
Oh wait, first we'll talk about what happened last week.
Oh yeah.
The long, hard convo.
Yeah.
The long, hard, in the bed conversation.
Oh.
Not marriage.
No
They
marriage.
didn't get married.
No.
They just talked.
Yeah. They kind of talked about marriage.
A little bit.
But
They got close.
nah. Not this week.
And then Bella was like, get out of my way. I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to make your family vote on whether or not
They like me.
I get to be a vampire. Because Edward's like, nah, it's fine. They won't even come back around until you're 30. And then Bella had an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Her one ear just started bleeding.
I will never be 30. How dare you?
Poor sweet Bella. It's not that bad. I've been there.
I will be there soon.
30 just kind of like came and went. It didn't do anything. It was just a thing. So anyway, in this chapter, 24, Vote, they're getting ready to go.
Yeah. Edward's not happy about it, but he's also not stopping her.
Okay, but please tell me
Yes.
that before they left the house, they took a mannequin and a bunch of pillows, and they made a pulley,
Uh-huh.
and they had a sound system
Yes.
going so that she's snoring.
Uh-huh.
When you open the door, she kind of turns over in the bed.
Yep.
She's still snoring. She gets a little...
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller style.
I feel like that would take Edward only 13 seconds to put together.
He has a Bella mannequin.
He's like, he probably did.
Think of his Bella mannequin.
Edward, the whole time he's gone, is just Spike in season 6 of Buffy.
Oh no, having robot sex with Bella robot. That was his distraction while he was in Italy and Brazil. Sorry.
Does he have a crypt? He does.
He had to. It was either a crypt or a concrete shaded area somewhere.
Same thing.
Crypt.
TBH.
Crypt is more desirable. For somebody like Edward,
Yeah.
where's he going to listen to his CDs?
Exactly.
He has to have a crypt.
He has to, with
And
the surround sound.
With his surround sound, with his CDs, with his Bella bot.
And some carpet and curtains.
Big, thick carpet.
Uh-huh.
Big theater stage curtains.
Did he get a bed?
Bella bot has to sleep.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So then he's like, okay, fine. If we're going to go to the house and have the family vote, hold on just a sec. And he grabs Bella bot from, it's just hiding somewhere. It's in the closet.
Uh-huh.
Bella didn't know, but he had to bring it back with him.
Yeah, where else is he going to put
He
it?
sticks it in the bed. He hooks it up to the door with a pulley system. He turns on the sound machine so that she's snoring.
Yes.
Really good. Okay.
If you guys don't watch Buffy, you are missing out, by the way. Okay, so he backpacks her.
Wait.
Oh.
He took me in his arms and sprang lively from my window, landing without the slightest jolt, like a cat. And Edward is the only one who knows how to transport Bella.
It's true.
Everybody else is like, we'll just walk. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, get on.
Backpacked. And then he runs. And Bella spends a long time going, this is fine and normal and I like this now.
It's absolutely like immediately back to comfort.
Uh-huh.
This is where she's meant to be.
Yep.
So comfortable.
She presses her lips against his neck and he says, thank you.
I know, so funny. What a funny response. Thank you for forgiving me. Bella is meant to live in the dark.
Yes, just bite her already.
She's a dark soul. And you know, she's like so happy with this. She's like, the speed was exhilarating. 100 times better than the motorcycle. And you're with Edward. Ghostward, goodbye.
Goodbye, Ghostward.
Oh, so beautiful. And then, thank you. Weird response, but okay.
Super weird. And he goes, does that mean you've decided you're awake? And she goes, not really. More I just don't care anymore.
I'm just not going to wake up.
And he goes, I'll earn your trust back somehow if it's my final act.
And then I just crossed out the next line.
Perfect. I'm happy. And pretty much the rest of this page, Bella's just being like, I don't trust myself. I'll never be enough for you. I don't deserve you. There's nothing I can do to make you stay.
Oh, no.
And then he promptly unbackpacks her, gives her a Bella idiot sandwich, and he just hugs her and he goes, your hold is permanent and unbreakable. Never doubt that.
Okay, but then she doesn't say this out loud to him, but in her internal monologue journal here, she says, but how could I not?
Yep.
She's still, I mean, it's going to take so long. It's going to take so long for her to be able to trust him again.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yes. He then asks about what her biggest problem is, because last time she said that the Volturi were her second biggest problem, and she just boops him on the nose.
Boop! It you.
You. The worst the Volturi can do is kill me. You can leave me.
Oh,
He
stomach
feels
hurts.
real bad about that.
Well, he should.
Yes.
She's like, even in the darkness, I could see the anguish twist his face. It reminded me of his expression under Jane's torturing gaze. I felt sick and regretted speaking the truth. Nah. Always speak your truth.
Yeah.
Even if it's really hard.
Even if you got a Crucio Edward for a sec.
She feels bad, but man. And then he goes, time, I suppose, will be the way to convince you.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yep. She's like, all right, perfect. Since you're staying, can I have my stuff back? And Edward's like, well, actually, Bella, it's under your floorboards.
Oh, he goes, it was stupid and childish, and I drew a rectangle around each of those words. Because I was like, yes, it was stupid and childish. To just pick up the floorboard and stick her crap under there. Can't even have the decency to take it out of that. Oh.
Yeah. Imagine if they were doing a house reno in like 2 years, and Charlie's pulling up the floorboards, and he finds all these pictures of Edward, and he's gonna be like, Bella, why do you have these here? And she'd be like,
her heart would fall out again.
Yeah. Those aren't mine. Bella then has an epiphany. And he's like,
is this a weird
what?
epiphany to you?
Yeah.
Totally weird.
She goes, some part of me, my subconscious maybe, never stopped believing that you still cared whether I lived or died. That's probably why I was hearing the voices.
And then he's like Hermione. Voices?
Even in Hogwarts, hearing voices isn't a good thing. She goes, yeah, well, just yours. It's a long story. And she's like, he's going to think I'm nuts. And he goes, I've got time.
Please talk to me.
Uh-huh.
And then she goes, it's pretty pathetic. So, I conjured a ghost.
I did a spell.
Oh, gosh.
Well, and then she goes, you remember, like, extreme sports? And he's like, yeah, you jumped off a cliff for fun. And she's like, yes.
Yeah.
And also with the motorcycle. And he goes, motorcycle?
There's a storm in his head.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. She goes, yeah, well, see, I found that when I was doing something dangerous or stupid, I could remember you more clearly. I could remember how your voice sounded when you were angry. I could hear it. It was like you were protecting me again, like you didn't want me to be hurt. And, well, I wonder if the reason I could hear you so clearly was because underneath it all, I always knew that you hadn't stopped loving me.
Is she just trying to convince herself? What is this? This is weird to me.
Yeah.
It never felt weird to me before, but upon this reading, I was like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm. It feels like she has to have, like, an explanation for why she was doing this, and it's like, it takes the focus off of the fact that she was having, like, very severe
mental
breakdowns and being like, oh no, there was a reason. It's because you love me, and that's why.
So I felt the connection through the space and time. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
cool, Bella.
I don't know.
Cool story.
And then Edward nearly has a death. Half strangled, he says, you were risking your life to hear me.
Shh. Hold on a second. I think I'm having an epiphany here.
She rewinds to the night in Port Angeles when she first saw Ghostword, and she thought that she was either crazy or she was fulfilling a need that she didn't know she had. But what if...
Yeah, option 3. What if he
Edward
just loves me
and I'm trying to make myself feel better.
We had a string holding us together.
Cute.
Really cute. It's gold and you can't snip it with scissors.
No. Not even with a vampire chomp.
No.
She goes, oh. He goes, Bella? Okay, I see. Your epiphany? You love me.
So like, weird.
Yeah. Truly I do. My heart inflated like it was going to crack right through my ribs.
Oh, that's called like, I don't know, there's a word for that when your heart gets really big.
Yeah, it's not good. You gotta break the sternum. Give it somewhere to go.
So I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know that that's not good.
No. You gotta give them a 1 of a something and a 2 of a something else.
Right into the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
He really did want me the way I wanted him forever. It was only fear for my soul, for the human things he didn't want to take from me that made him so desperate to leave me mortal. Compared to the fear that he didn't want me, this hurdle, my soul, seemed almost insignificant.
It's just a lot of me being like, huh.
So Ghostword means that you do love me.
This
what?
Delusion, my hallucinations, they were not a mental breakdown. They were love, true love.
That's a very far jump, Bella, but whatever you need to feel secure, I guess.
True love.
Edward does a Bella kiss sandwich now.
Aww.
Until she's dizzy. And then he foreheads to forehead her.
Oh.
And she was not the only one breathing harder than usual.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ooh, he tells her that she was better at surviving, that she at least made an effort. And he goes, when I wasn't actively tracking, I was totally useless.
You just laid on the ground.
I more or less curled up into a ball and let the misery have me.
Cute.
It was much more pathetic than hearing voices, and of course, you know I do that too.
Imagine, oh, just Esme and Carlisle, and finally, Carlisle just hit the table. That's it. Get out.
Just like Charlie did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Edward goes, what? He's like, I'm sending you to your cousins.
You're going to Alaska.
He's like, no, I'm fine. I'll go track Victoria. They had the exact same experience.
That's true. Why don't Charlie and Carlisle talk to each other more?
They
both have
really
chaotic
should think of their children. They would have so much to talk about.
They have so much in common.
Oh my gosh.
Bella is a relief. Edward doesn't think she's crazy. He loves her.
Okay.
They get another hug in, and he starts to walk her towards the house. And he goes, I'm just humoring you with this. It doesn't matter what they say. And she's like, yeah, it does.
Yeah, dude.
He's a shrug. And then they walk into the room, and Edward does a very weird thing where he says everybody's names. As if they didn't hear that whole conversation and like breakdown Bella just had.
I know they
I know
heard
that they're here.
everything. He's being polite to Bella.
I guess.
I love it how they walk in and he turns the lights on.
Yeah.
Were they just hanging out in the dark?
Yeah. Well, it's like so early it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so
They have to have the lights out.
the lights are off
people
just so people don't.
driving by will be like, why is that
No
house
one's
in the
driving
woods?
by, though.
I mean, they're way far back in the woods. You can't see them no matter where you are. But maybe if there's a light in the woods, that attracts something.
Something.
What does it attract? I don't know. So they just sit around in the dark all night long. It
They
doesn't
don't
matter.
need lights.
They can see. I get it.
Yeah.
But then she's like, it was just as I remembered it. The piano and the white couches and the pale, massive staircase. No dust. No white sheets. You know that Alice and Emmett just walked in there and blew up all the
Yep.
dust off.
Done. Easy.
Beautiful. Edward, Carlisle, Esme, Rosalie, Emmett, Jasper, Alice.
Why?
It's just like our shirt.
Oh, yeah. Bella and Edward.
And then they just doop, 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 doop. They appear from different
Yes.
parts of the house.
All of a sudden, Carlisle's there.
They're so weird. These guys are the weirdest weirdos.
I love them.
I know. Carlisle just appears.
Boop, and welcome back,
Welcome
Bella.
back.
What can we do for you? She's like, well, I'd like to talk to everyone. And they both look at Edward. He's like, yeah, okay, let's go into the dining room. So they keep turning on lights and they go to the big table with 8 chairs.
It's a meeting table.
Yes.
It's the boardroom.
It's the family fight table.
Not a dining room, boardroom.
Mm-hmm. Carlisle gives Bella the seat at the head of the table. And everybody sits down. Everybody comes in, everybody sits down. Edward is on her left, Carlisle is on her right. Alice is very happy about this because she already knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, dude.
And Rosalie gives Bella a smile.
A timid, tentative something starting. Something beautiful.
Yep.
Might be starting here. Does it happen? Does it start?
No, never does.
Doesn't go anywhere.
Edward grabs Bella's hand under the table and Bella begins
My high school boyfriend and I used to do that too.
a secret handhold.
Yeah, under the dinner table as if nobody knew what was going on. Oh my gosh.
She double checks that that Alice filled everybody in on everything that happened.
Everything.
Everything. Yes, yes. And Bella goes, so I have a problem. Alice said that I have to be a vampire now. And Edward, you guys know Edward.
Oh, Edward!
So,
He just, okay.
so if you guys don't want me to be part of the family. I'll just go back to Italy by myself. No big deal. But if you guys do want me around, that'd be cool. We can get this vampire thing going.
She's like, no matter what, I will be immortal.
I'm either going to go work for Aro or I'm going to stay here.
Fine either way.
Your call.
Fine.
That's all I'm saying. Edward begins a faint rumble, and she wants everyone to vote yes or no on the issue of her becoming a vampire.
So weird.
And she goes, all right, Carlisle, you start, but no. Edward has to get his time in the spotlight as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, first of all, I don't think we need to be worried about the Bill.
Yep. Yep. We don't need to worry about them. Bull.
I was trying to
Say
combine. Bull.
Say tur.
Tur.
Say e. Say Volturi.
Blah, blah. That's a TikTok reference.
Well, I didn't even know.
I'll show you that video later.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, Edward's like, Bella is immune to vampire powers, you guys, and the only way that the Volturi find people is through their vampire powers. So, NBD, they can't track Bella, and when they're coming, Alice will just give me a heads up, and me and Bella will go on vacation.
Sorry. I just had to drop a thing on the cat so she would stop attacking the other cat.
Poor baby. He just needs his water now.
Alright, so they can't find her, right? But they know everybody else. Where's she gonna be? She's gonna be with them.
Yeah.
Bella.
They can, yeah. The only way you can, Edward.
Edward.
They can't track Bella, but they can track you or anyone
and
you're with.
Alice.
It's not like you're gonna let Bella go somewhere by herself.
Listen, Aro has 100% of the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, surveillance on Carlisle. So we know where you are.
That little silver phone has a tracker, and it sends Aro Carlisle's location every 3 minutes.
He reads all of Carlisle's texts. Every text to Esme. So boring.
Oh man.
The most
you guys gotta
boring...
spice up these texts because I'm bored.
The most boring vanilla texts. And
Poor
Aro doesn't
Carlisle.
care. Aro is like, I mean, this is fine.
Carlisle is my kink.
That blonde vanilla boy.
Mm-hmm. Both Emmett and Jasper congratulate Edward on his brilliant plan. Rosalie and Alice are like, you guys are idiot sandwiches.
Wait. But did Edward and Emmett turkey their hands? Because listen to what they say. Emmett laughed and reached across the table toward his brother, extending a fist, right?
Yep.
Excellent plan, my brother, he says with enthusiasm. Edward stretched out his arm to smack Emmett's fist. Oh, he says with his own. I just I envisioned that they did a turkey.
Emmett would go in for the snail, I think.
Cool.
Classic Emmett.
Right on, okay. Rosalie's no.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely not.
Esme is glaring at Edward also. And Bella's like, okay, Edward, enough. Let's get back to my vote. She starts with Edward this time, goes, do you want me to join your family? And he just says, not that way, you're staying human. She moves along. Alice, yes. Jasper, yes.
She's a little surprised, but moving on.
Rosalie is a no.
Biting down on her full, perfect bottom lip. Hot.
But before Bella can move on, she goes, let me explain. I don't mean that I have any aversion to you as a sister. It's just that this is not the life I would have chosen for myself, and I wish there had been someone there to vote no for me. No, she doesn't.
She's turning the knife in Carlisle's stomach more
Poor
and more
Carlisle.
every time she says this.
Yeah.
He's just like, ow, oh, ow.
Also, Rosalie wouldn't want someone to vote for her.
No.
She would have
wanted
her
to make the
vote
decision herself.
to be the one that counts.
Yes.
And so by
which is the point here.
Giving Bella a no vote just means that she's taking away Bella's option to choose for herself.
Damn. Emily.
Anyway.
Telling the truth.
Rosalie. She moves to Emmett and he goes, yes, I will fight with Dimitri on some other thing. Esme is also a yes. And then Carlisle. Carlisle gets ×5 of a vote here.
Oh yeah, and Bella's so nervous. She all of a sudden is like, oh, I'm going to throw up.
But Carlisle's not looking at Bella. He's looking at Edward, and Edward is a growl. Edward loses his shit right now.
Edward. Oh, gosh.
Carlisle says it's the only way that makes sense. You've chosen not to live without her, and that doesn't leave me a choice.
Oh, yeah.
So Edward shoves the table back and walks out of the room.
He shoves away from the table, but does he shove the table with everybody sitting at the table?
Luckily, Bella's on the end, so she doesn't get, like, crushed. But, like, Carlisle and Esme and
Rosalie
they're all like scooted.
They're all scooted across the room.
Are they just, like, solid enough that it just, like...
It stops,
the
but
table crunched
it moves
a little
them
against
and
them.
it breaks the table, yeah. Esme's so mad. That
This
table was $8,000.
It took me 1 hour to restore this.
She's like staring after Edward.
Yeah, and Carla goes,
Thanks.
I guess you know my vote. And then they hear an ear-splitting crash from the other room.
What does he break? They never say it.
Somewhere on Tumblr, they've reposted this thing from Stephanie Meyer's website.
Okay.
Which says that Edward went and ripped their, like, 8,000-inch platinum
yes.
TV screen. Plasma.
Oh no.
Into halves. And Emmett is very upset with him because they had to import that specially because they're not for sale in the US yet.
This is the dumbest, most Edwardish thing I've ever heard.
I always thought that it may have been the piano, but that would have made like
that
a
would have
very
made a piano sound.
noise, but
yeah.
that's always what I pictured.
I couldn't imagine. Like, I was like, did he break one of the windows? Because, you know, the windows are like wall to wall.
Right.
And I just was like horrified for like 30 minutes being like, what did he break?
A TV.
The TV.
Rosalie's going to be so mad.
How big did you say it was?
1 million.
1 million inches.
Yes. It's huge.
It's the size of the entire house.
It's the size of the entire
and he ripped it in half,
peninsula.
like he Supermaned it?
Yeah, in halves. More than once.
Cool.
Anyway.
He rips it in half, folds it up, rips it again, folds it again.
Yes.
This piece of paper means nothing to me.
Yep.
Good Edward. Good Edward. That's my new swear.
Good Edward. Bella is now embarrassed and is going to excuse herself. And says, thank you all for wanting to keep me. I feel exactly the same way about all of you too. And Esme comes over and gives Bella a cold hug.
Oh.
And then she looks and Rosalie is looking down at the table looking all sad and she's like, oops.
I feel the same way about you too.
No
bitch.
to you. And then she turns to Alice and goes, where do you want to do this?
She's just going to lay on the table right there.
With everybody around. Should we go like upstairs?
Should I put my hair in a pony first?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an extra blue shirt I can borrow for the occasion?
Edward would love a blue shirt, for sure. Alice just stares at her, and Edward comes back in the room.
Just
a scream.
Roaring his head off.
No, no, no! Then he gets all up in her face and goes, are you insane? Have you utterly lost your mind? And Bella puts her hand over her ears.
He's too loud. Shh. You're too loud, Edward.
Alice goes, hold on, I am not ready for this. I need to prepare myself.
How's she going to prepare herself?
She's going to...
Practice? How else would a vampire prepare?
I don't know.
Practice.
Carlisle's gonna get some blood from Bella, and Alice is just gonna put it in her mouth and like
spit it out.
Yeah, just see how long she can like keep it in there without going crazy.
It's like when you're on a no carb diet, but you want to taste the cheesecake, so you just put it in your mouth and then you spit it out.
Did you see the clip of Courtney?
No.
Kardashian. She's at Kim's house, and they're in the kitchen. There's this huge box of donuts, and Kim goes, like, Kylie sent these to everyone, but she didn't send any to me. And so Courtney goes over and she opens the box of donuts and she picks up one and she goes, this looks amazing, but I can't eat it. And she just gives it a sniff and puts it away.
Literally, I don't care. I would never live the type of life where I can't eat a donut.
No.
Never. I have a very serious sugar addiction, and I'm fine with it. I don't want to change. It's not hurting anybody.
No.
Not even me.
Fine.
I have a heart palpitation every once in a while. Whatever. It's fine.
It's not from the donuts.
No, it's not.
And Alice goes, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to not kill you. And
can't
Bella's
quit
like,
you.
it's fine, I don't care.
I trust you.
Edward is just still screaming around the room.
Running. Think of him like arms down, fists clenched, walking around. You've seen the teenage boys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders forward, just screaming.
And nobody's paying him any attention. They're
Poor
like, he
guy.
just does this sometime. You just have to let him get it out of his system.
We support him in his rage.
Until Edward comes over and does an angry Bella sandwich and forces her to look at him.
No.
Bad Edward.
Don't do that.
And
Carlisle
is like, no, Carlisle, don't even think about turning into a vampire right now. It doesn't have to be now. And Bella's like, there's no reason for it not to be now. Well,
no, oh no.
I can think of a few. She says to let go of her. He does, and folds his arms.
He's so mad. He goes, in about 2 hours, Charlie will be here looking for you. I wouldn't put it past him to involve the police. And then she goes, all 3 of them? Burn!
Oh.
But she still frowned. She's
yeah.
like, dang it.
Frickin' Charlie and Renee
Charlie
and
and
Jacob.
his 2 police friends.
They're his only friends. That's not true. He has 2 other friends. Charlie has 4 friends.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's
and the
all I
lady
have.
at the diner.
Yep.
Yep. She talks herself right into being okay with it, though, saying, I was hurting them more by staying human, putting Charlie in constant danger through my proximity. I was a danger magnet. I'd accepted that about myself. And so I knew I needed to be able to take care of myself and protect the ones I love, even if it meant that I couldn't be with them.
Oh my gosh, Emily, can we make a danger magnet?
Yes. Danger, Bella.
Oh, danger magnet.
And Edward's like, okay, well, yes, but we try to remain inconspicuous. So probably we should wait till you, like, I don't know, finish high school and move out of Charlie's house.
Honestly.
And Carlisle was like, that is a very reasonable request,
Yes,
Bella.
thank you, the voice of reason.
So she thinks about it and she's like, yeah, Charlie would literally die if I
So, okay, no, but she goes,
disappeared.
after all that life had put him through in the last week, I'm like, no, after all that you had put him through, because him losing Harry, that's a normal human thing to do. You lose your friend, they die, you guys get older, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You're the one who put him through shit. You left.
Over and over again.
Yeah, garbage.
Uh-huh. Charlie deserved better than that. It was just a little more time. Graduation wasn't so far away.
Well, yeah, because it's like, what, March? April?
Yeah, April, March.
It was spring break last week.
Yeah, we have like 2 more months. I'll consider it. Edward becomes no more of a jock lunch, but he's also like, I'm going to take you home now before anyone else can promise you anything else.
She looks at Carlisle. After graduation,
You have my word.
Okay, you can take me home.
Yep.
Backpack. Goodbye.
To Charlie's house. Also, it doesn't show her the halved TV screen.
No, it takes her the other way through the house.
They don't talk to each other until they get back. Edward just poops.
Yes, he poops up.
Up the wall.
Sorry, everybody.
He plops through the door. Nope.
Nope.
Window.
It's really cute though. It's
Anyway.
like they get to the house and he doesn't even pause. And through the window.
Yep. That's what I was trying to say. But
I like the way you said it better.
So they get in there. Edward does not immediately start screaming, which is good, but he does start pacing, which is concerning. And Bella just goes, stop planning whatever you're planning, because I already have my guarantee from Carlisle. It doesn't matter what plan you're trying to come up with right now. And he just goes, shh, I'm thinking.
They have a cute moment here. So he goes, shh, I'm thinking. And she goes, ugh. And she throws herself on the bed, pulls the quilt completely over her head, all the way over her head. And he's like, I can just picture him. He stops pacing. He looks over at her. And he just like walks over. Pulls the... it's just such a cute, like... I can just imagine this moment in my head, and it makes me very happy. He just grabs the edge of the quilt and just pulls it so he can see her face.
Yeah. And he also lays really down behind her.
Yeah. Oh, cute.
It's like, okay, we're laying down now.
He's brushing her hair away from her cheek.
Yep.
And he's like, don't hide your face. I can't stand to not look at it.
Oh, Eddie.
He's like, now tell me something.
Yeah, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? And she's like...
You.
Is this a trick? You. And he goes, no. Something you don't already have. And she's like, I want you to change me and not Carlisle. And he's like, okay, that's what I expected her to say. Mm-hmm. So what would you be willing to trade for that? And Bella's like, excuse me?
I might get something?
Anything. I'll give you anything. Whatever you want. And he goes, 3 years.
No.
Well, no, first he asked for 5.
Says 5 years, and I'm like, dude, no. She'll be 23.
Ew.
Ugh, gross. 23-year-olds? Think of them. They have oily hair.
Give me while I'm in my prime. It doesn't matter, Bella. You become perfect when you become a vampire.
He's like, you said anything.
She's like, no, definitely not 5 years. He asked for 3 years. She says no. And he goes, isn't it worth anything to you at all? And she goes, 6 months? No, she gives him 1 year. And he asks for 2. And she says, no way. 19 I'll do, but I am not going anywhere near 20.
Oh no, imagine being 20.
Heaven forbid.
Good grief.
He goes, okay, I'm not going to win this way, so forget time limits. If you want me to be the one, then you'll just have to meet one condition.
What condition?
Marry me first.
It was just a scream and a dance party.
Oh, wait, you don't mean that kind of... Oh, like real marriage?
No. I mean, she's like halfway naked.
Okay,
Stop. That's not what I meant.
Oh. Well, then, what's the punchline? He goes, you're wounding my ego, Bella. I just proposed to you and you think it's a joke.
That was not a proposal, Edward Cullen.
No. Edward, please be serious. I am 100% serious. Oh, come on, I'm only 18. Well, I'm 110. Ew.
Ew.
Don't bring that up.
Gross.
You're 17 for a while. And Bella says that she doesn't want to get married and that it was the kiss of death for Charlie and Renee.
Oh, man.
And Edward's like, ha ha ha, very funny.
Edward should have been like, oh, okay, hold on a sec. Writes down the word therapy for Bella on his hand.
Schedule a meeting with Dr. So-and-so. Please don't tell me that you're afraid of the commitment. She goes, no, I'm afraid of Renee. She has very intense opinions on getting married before you're 30. And he goes, yeah, because she'd rather you became one of the eternal damned than get married. And she goes, you are correct.
Yes, she would.
She would 100% rather.
She would love it.
Yes.
She'd be like, can I too?
Oh no, that's my worst fear.
Think of her. Oh my gosh, Emily.
Moving on. And she goes, okay, well, what if I did? What if I told you to take me to Vegas now? Would I be a vampire in 3 days? He goes, yeah, sure. I'll get the car.
Oh, man.
Fine, I'll give you 18 months.
Oh
Edward
no,
Cullen.
that's forever.
He says, no deal. I like this better. And she goes, fine, I'll have Carlisle do it when I graduate. And he goes, fine. They're such teens right now. You're impossible. A monster. And he goes, is that why you won't marry me?
Oh my gosh, these guys.
And then Edward pulls out his melty eyes.
Oh, I love them.
He's looking through his eyelashes again. And he goes, please, Bella?
Oh man.
With a
That's not
on
fair.
her face. She doesn't breathe for a hot sec, and then she does. And he goes, would this have gone better if I'd had time to get a ring?
No.
No rings. She shouts.
Whoops.
And then Charlie wakes up.
What is it? 2? By
Yeah. Yeah, 2 a.m.
now?
Edward hides in the closet.
I love that. I love it so much. He goes, would it be childish of me to hide in the closet? No, stay. Do not leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She lays there and she thinks about how she still has a Carlisle option, but now there's a chance that Edward might change me, and I really want that, and that's not fair. So Charlie comes in, she says good morning, and he goes, oops, I didn't know you were up. And she goes, yes, I was just waiting so I could take a shower. And then Charlie says, hold on.
Oh no.
No showers for you, Bella.
Oh no. The chief. The wrath of the chief. The wrath.
He turns on the light and he says, let's talk for a minute first. And she goes, oh crap, I forgot to ask Alice for an excuse. And he goes, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I just about went crazy these last 3 days. I come home from Harry's funeral and you're gone. Jacob could only tell me that you'd run off with Alice Cullen and that he thought you were in trouble.
Oh, Jacob!
You didn't leave me a number and you didn't call. I didn't know where you were or when or if you were coming back. Do you have any idea? Fair. Can you give me one reason why I shouldn't ship you off to Jacksonville this second?
I feel so weird about all of this. Because, Bella, I don't know. I'm not experienced in this type of a thing. I don't have adult children. I don't know what it's like to have to be like, I'm letting go of the power or whatever that I have as a parent. But she's an adult and she's very independent, self-sufficient, smart. She could easily go and do whatever she wants.
That's true, but if your child had been acting like super crazy and was like, I'm in a cult now, the cult of Edward Cullen, you also would be like, hold on.
Yeah.
This isn't healthy or good for you.
Okay.
If the only thing that's gonna like slow you down is me like interjecting all the time, then I'm just gonna keep interjecting.
I guess.
Because I know we both like care and respect each other. So if that's the card I can pull, then I'm gonna keep pulling it.
But here's what I do know from, not from experience, but from seeing other people's experiences, is that the more a parent pushes a thing, the more a kid is like, I'm still gonna do it, I'm still gonna do it, I'm still gonna do it. And then the second the parent is like, okay, do it, I'll help you, the kid is like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And that is something that is like across the board I've seen tons and tons of times.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, where do you stop like fighting your kid and being like, and finally just be like, you know what, you are an adult, I will help you do this. I don't know, because
so
obviously
hard.
Edward is very scary. to the chief.
Yeah.
I, as a parent, would be horrified if my children were dating somebody who literally was like a superhuman, and apparently every time my child is with them, they almost die.
Right.
So yeah.
And that their like behavior just completely changes when they're around this person.
It's
like,
very scary.
Yeah. And Charlie, I just don't think that Charlie knows how to like relate to Bella or whatever, and so he just.
Do you? I mean, but as soon as
I don't know.
So if your kid is like in the vampire cult,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, okay, so I can just keep fighting them and pushing them away, or I can get into it too, right?
Right.
And be like, I support this. I think, let's set up a marriage. Let's do this.
Marriage.
I mean, it's like, maybe that would, the just reverse psychology would be enough for her to be like, oh, it's okay. I don't need to rush into this marriage anymore. I don't need to blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, I feel for the chief so much.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose your kid, and she's been doing the worst things and just almost dying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's really scary.
The biggest problem here is that Bella has a secret that she can't tell Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
If it had been like anything else going on and she could tell him about it, I feel like she would.
Yeah.
But she can't be like, oh,
I mean,
they're vampires.
She kept a lot of things from him when she was hanging out with Jacob. The motorcycles and the, you know, all the stuff that they were doing. She's good at keeping a secret from her dad, which is all teenagers do.
Right.
But I don't know. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Why did I have kids? I'm terrified. I'm so scared, you guys.
I mean, just tell them early that if they're going to join a vampire cult,
I'm also going to join.
A vampire cult.
Here's another thing that I think I'll do is just be like, I'm not going to tell you can't do this thing. I'm just going to say, I'll be here for you when you need me, maybe.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I mean, there is a point where it's just too scary.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to push them away. So.
Well, I feel like learning from other people about like if someone else has gone through something similar is a good strategy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what you're going through, but this person has been through it, and they can tell you exactly
sure
how it's gone and what the bad consequences have been.
The other person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have done whatever I did anyway. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Being a human sucks sometimes.
I'm just a cat parent, and so far it's working out.
She's not going anywhere.
No cults for you, Meowboy. Okay. Bella says, oh, you aren't going to ship me off because I'm not going to go. No, just
he would
1
want
minute,
that,
young
though.
lady.
Wait, wouldn't he want her to stay with him?
Yeah.
So, okay.
But he doesn't want her to keep disappearing and, like, falling through windows.
So then she's like, I accept complete responsibility for my actions. You have the right to ground me for as long as you want. I will also do everything that I already do.
Right.
Like, she makes this list of crap that she's going to do, but it's like, you already do all of those things. This isn't like you making up for it.
This isn't a punishment for you.
Chores and laundry and dishes and cooking and blah, 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 blah. No, you already do that. And I guess you're within your rights to kick me out too, but that won't make me go to Florida.
True. Yep. He asks if she wants to tell him where she has been. And she goes, well, there was an emergency. It was all a misunderstanding. Alice told Rosalie about me jumping off the cliff. And then Charlie turns into a grape.
Poor guy.
He goes so purple. She goes, oh, I guess I didn't tell you about that. It was nothing, just messing around, swimming with Jake. Anyway, Rosalie told Edward he was upset. She made it sound like I was trying to kill myself or something. He wouldn't answer his phone, so we went to LA so I could explain in person. Poor Charlie. Were you trying to kill yourself, Bella?
Oh, no.
That's all he's been, like, waiting to happen this whole time.
I mean, that's the big thing, is that, so first of all, she's obsessed with this Edward Colton. And then she tries to kill herself.
Will you write down Edward Cullen? Hey, Meowfly, get that out of your mouth. Meowfly. Meowfly, stop it. Come here. Stop it. Please stop chewing cords.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, Meowfly! She can't be.
Almost.
Stop it. Come here. Bella goes, no, of course not. I was just having fun with Jake. The Lapush kids do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charlie. What's it to Edward Cullen anyway? All this time, he just left you dangling without a word.
Damn! Truth bomb!
Mm-hmm. She goes, yeah, that was just another misunderstanding.
Oh, gross. Ugh.
So is he back then? She's like, yeah, I think so. I think they all are. And he's like, okay, Carlisle's back. I want you to stay away from him, Bella. I don't trust him. He's rotten for you. I won't let him mess you up like that again. She goes, fine. And he goes, oh, I thought you were going to be difficult. And she goes, I am. I meant, fine, I'll move out.
Kayla said, she goes, his eyes bulged. His face turned puce. My resolve wavered as I started to worry about his health. His health? He's not that old, Bella.
But he is no younger than Harry.
He's like 45 at most.
But he's purple.
Yes, he's angry.
He's mad. She goes, Dad, I don't want to move out. I love you. I know you're worried, but you need to trust me on this. And you're going to have to ease up on Edward if you want me to stay. Do you want me to live here or not? And he goes, that's not fair, Bella. You know I want you to stay. And she goes, then be nice to Edward because he's going to be where I am.
Ooh.
Not under my roof. She goes, look, I'm done arguing. Just think about it for a few days, but keep in mind that Edward and I are sort of a package deal.
Ugh. This is just making Charlie have the worst stomach ache of his life.
Right? So this is, I mean, obviously it's good that Bella's being honest with Charlie. I just feel like had she had different wordings, or she could have eased him in better and made him be more accepting of Edward. If she was like, yeah, they're back. I don't know if we're going to get back together. We haven't really talked about it. But, like, we probably will.
We're going to take things slowly. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to test it out. See what happens.
He apologized for everything.
It was,
and that's where we're at.
Yeah, so she's being very...
She's throwing it in his face.
She's being like me. Like
this is how it is.
The overreaction, like, this is, you are not going to tell me what to do. There was a misunderstanding. Just accept it for what it is. I mean, this is like, when Mark and I have had, like, fights, it's always me just being like, no, this is my truth, and this is the truth, and this is it, blah, blah, blah. And, like, refusing to give in because I just know I'm right. But then when I step back for a sec, I'm like, oh, I could have handled that so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bella.
So, yeah, that's my biggest problem, I think, is that, like, had it not been, like, 2 in the morning, and if they would have waited to have, like, a conversation about this, she could have just worded it better and not been like, well, too bad, I choose Edward. I mean, I don't care how you feel or what you think.
Yeah, also if she had time, but if she had the wherewithal to ask Alice to help her come up with something, that would have been the way to go, because Alice knows she knows what's going to happen, she knows how Charlie's going to react.
Yep.
She could make up a plan that would be like, this is how we make sure that Charlie doesn't freak out.
Yeah.
They should have done it.
She could have just run a couple scenarios. Like, what if I say this to Charlie? Is he going to be okay? That one didn't work. Okay, what if we tell him this? Is he okay now? Like, she knows what it's like to be left out of a decision and just have something thrust upon you.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Nope.
It makes you feel awful.
It does. It sucks, especially when you're the parent and you're like, I'm the one who's supposed to be making the decisions. Yeah, okay, so that was the big mistake, is not talking to Alice. That's always the big mistake. Always.
Goodness.
Up until the very end of the series.
It's true. Then Alice leaves and it's this whole thing.
Oh, Alice.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like that's just, like, my biggest problem. Like, I feel like Bella's obviously right, but, You can, like, take other people's feelings into account if you want to.
If you want to, then you can.
Then you can. Obviously, she didn't really care
No.
right here,
Yeah.
which just bothers me because I love Charlie.
Yeah, it is really, really bothersome. But she's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She goes, think it over. I really need a shower. Charlie
Yes,
is
she
a
does.
strange shade of purple, but he leaves and he slams the door behind him, stomps down the stairs. He's gonna go have some angry coffee.
Aw, my favorite kind.
And then Edward is in the rocking chair.
Just appears there.
She goes, sorry about that, and he goes, it's not as if I don't deserve far worse. Don't start anything with Charlie over me, please.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Edward.
He's right.
Sweetie baby.
Uh-huh.
He's so right.
She goes, don't worry about it. I will start exactly as much as is necessary, and no more than that.
No.
But you don't have to.
You really don't.
I don't know.
Let's rewrite it from here on out and get Carlisle involved.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Carlisle came through he pooped through the window.
Hey guys.
And
Sorry
Charlie
about the poop, but
suddenly turned a very strange shade of red.
oh,
Purple to red.
I'm here to save the problem.
Listen. Bella goes, are you trying to tell me that I would have nowhere to go? And he goes, you'd move in with a house full of vampires? And she's like, have you met me?
Yes.
That's all I want. So eager for eternal damnation.
Same.
Right? That's all I want. That's all I'm trying for.
Yes.
She tells him, you don't really believe that. And he goes, oh, don't I? And she goes, no, you don't. If you really believed that you lost your soul, then when I found you in Volterra, you would have realized immediately what was happening. Instead of thinking that we were both dead together. But you didn't. You said amazing. Carlisle was right. There's hope in you after all.
Aww. And Edward is like, huh? Huh?
Oh.
How about a what?
I said that. So let's both just be hopeful, all right? Not that it matters. If you stay, I don't need heaven.
Stare.
He comes and gives Bella a gentle sandwich.
Oh.
And he says, forever. And she goes, that's all I'm asking for. And then a kiss.
The
End scene. End book.
end. Oh. The end of New Moon. Besides the epi.
Yeah,
Epi.
we got an epi.
Oh, man. Okay, so I was real mad there last week for a while.
Uh-huh.
A little mad this week, but I feel much better now. They are solving things. They're figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get married. She's gonna...
Etc.
Yeah, it's exciting. This is like... Woo! Everything's looking good. We're gonna figure things out with the chief.
Yes.
It's
The nice
fine.
thing is that Bella is... Like, it's very easy for Charlie to trust Bella because she really does stick to her word with everything else that she does. Like,
Just
she
when it
is
comes to
always
Edward
home after
Cullen.
school. She's home by 9, whatever. And so he becomes okay. And he sees that Edward's not pushing any boundaries. And
Right,
so,
and eventually Edward starts coming over.
Right.
Right, and
Yeah.
just hanging out.
Uh-huh. So it doesn't take long for Charlie to, like, kind of be okay again, but he's always, like,
He
suspicious of Edward.
never trusts Edward again until he meets Renesmee.
Right.
Which is fine and understandable.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I honestly am like, we have to read Eclipse because I love Breaking Dawn so much. I cannot wait for the wedding and the honeymoon and the pregnancy and the birth of the baby and the vampire Bella. Like, I love it so much. But I'm super excited to get into Eclipse because I also love, it's a whole entire book of a love triangle and the
Yes.
building the war,
Uh-huh.
which is really fun and cool. It's kind of like, I mean, it's the third book and it's the, like, in-between story, but it's fun, and I'm excited to get into that story.
Yeah, we
and
start
flesh it
picking
out.
back up.
Yes!
We had our low moment, and now it's time to punch werewolves in the face.
Oh my gosh, ouch. Don't do that.
Yeah, try not to.
It's time to get in a non-consensual kiss from a really hot guy. What?
Who did that?
Oh!
My hands.
I love this book.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm so glad. I am really sad that we only have the epilogue left of it. The epilogue is really good. Really, like, it gives us the perfect feeling of what Eclipse is going to be like for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, Jacob, stop it. And Edward, you're awesome. And Bella, take a nap. I don't know, but like, I have loved reading this book. It has been an emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
At all the tears. Did you guys shed some tears with us during
no.
this book? I think some of you did.
Probably.
Oh, I loved it.
Me too. Goodbye, New Moon.
Goodbye, New Moon. I loved you.
And hello.
I mean, we have one more
Edward.
week of reading New Moon. And then we're going to do a New Moon viewing party.
Yeah, we'll
Very
do a
excited about.
soundtrack recap.
Oh my gosh,
episode.
yes.
We talk about all the songs in our bonusodes on Patreon, but we're going to do a quick overview episode for all of you guys.
I will put together my New Moon my New Moon, what's it called? Playlist.
It'll be on our Spotify.
I'll put it out on Spotify. What else? We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up next week.
Yeah.
And the week after and the week after. It'll probably be a few weeks of wrapping up New Moon, maybe.
Probably.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Then we're going to take a break.
Ooh.
Can we? I'm so nervous to take a break.
It'll be no big
We'll still
deal.
put stuff out there while we're breaking, I think.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I love you guys so much.
And
Thanks for remembering New Moon with us. And remember, don't stir up the wrath of the chief.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Do. My ears. Ugh. I need to stand up.